Welcome to the Florida Department of Transportation's public hearing for the State Road 739 Metro Parkway at Daniels Parkway Project Development and Environment, or PD&E reevaluation. We appreciate your attendance and participation. This video was created to help explain the PD&E reevaluation that was conducted and to introduce the new proposed design. Tonight you have the ability to review the project documents and provide comments during the public testimony. The purpose of the PD&E reevaluation is to evaluate and document the benefits, costs, and impacts of modifying the intersection configuration at Metro Parkway and Daniels Parkway to address capacity needs based on projected travel demand generated by future population and economic growth. The project limits extend along Metro Parkway from East Pine Parkway to just north of Metropolis Avenue and Doctors Way, and along Daniels Parkway from just east of the railroad tracks to east of Daniels Commerce Boulevard. FDOT District One previously conducted a PD&E study, FPID 195650-1, that was approved by the Office of Environmental Management as a Type 2 categorical exclusion, or CE, on February 11, 1999. Since then, the design has been optimized, resulting in changes to proposed right-of-way impacts. The original design was proposed as part of the Lee County 2020 Financially Feasible Plan to provide improvements that would increase capacity at the intersection, as the projected increase in traffic resulted in an unacceptable level of service by design year 2020. The original PD&E improvements were not funded. A significant period then passed, which warranted a revised review of the traffic volumes in 2013. The analysis using the new traffic volumes included the evaluation of 5 intersection configuration concepts. The intersection of Metro Parkway and Daniels Parkway is currently an at-grade signalized intersection. Metro Parkway has 2 12-foot through lanes, 12-foot dual left turn lanes, and 12-foot right turn lanes northbound and southbound. Daniels Parkway has 3 12-foot through lanes, 12-foot dual left turn lanes, and a 12-foot right turn lane eastbound and westbound. There are pedestrian crosswalks on each leg of the intersection and a bicycle lane on northbound Metro Parkway adjacent to the curb. There are 8-foot sidewalks surrounding the intersection, and there is roadway lighting southbound, eastbound, and westbound approaching the intersection. The right-of-way, or property FDOT already owns, at the intersection varies with a minimum of 125 feet to 192 feet on the south leg, and 147 feet on the north leg of Metro Parkway. Daniels Parkway has 250 feet of right-of-way. An intersection analysis report was finalized in 2018 that evaluated projected traffic volumes and various alternative designs to accommodate growth. FDOT considered 5 different concepts to modify the Metro Parkway and Daniels Parkway intersection in consideration of 6-laning Metro Parkway to increase capacity and improve safety. All of the concepts considered 3 through lanes in each direction, but modified the left and right turn lane configurations. Concept 1 was an at-grade intersection that included 3 southbound left turn lanes, 2 northbound, eastbound, and westbound left turn lanes, and 1 right turn lane on each approach. Concept 2 was also an at-grade intersection that included 3 northbound and southbound left turn lanes, 2 eastbound and westbound left turn lanes, and 1 right turn lane on each approach. Concepts 1 and 2 were eliminated from consideration due to their insufficient operational performance. Concept 3 was another at-grade intersection that included 3 northbound, southbound, and eastbound left turn lanes, 2 westbound left turn lanes, and 1 right turn lane on each approach. Concept 4 was a single-point urban interchange, or SPUI, with a bridge along Metro Parkway. The primary benefit of a SPUI is that it allows the turning movements from the ramps to turn at the same time. This concept was removed from consideration due to the high construction cost. Concept 5 was a 2-way continuous flow intersection, or CFI, along Metro Parkway. The CFI was not considered along Daniels Parkway due to right-of-way constraints. The primary function of a CFI is to place the left-turning movements in advance of the central signalized intersection. Concepts 3 and 5 were the only concepts that were further analyzed. While both concepts had similar construction costs, the 2-way continuous flow intersection provided significantly more capacity to meet future traffic demands. The final decision to utilize Concept 5 at the Metro Parkway and Daniels Parkway intersection was coordinated with FDOT, the City of Fort Myers, and Lee County. The proposed CFI will replace the at-grade intersection that is currently in place at the intersection of Metro Parkway and Daniels Parkway to provide a 6-lane divided curb and gutter facility. North of Daniels Parkway, the proposed design will add one 11-foot through lane in each direction, and an 11-foot northbound through lane will be added south of Daniels Parkway. This will result in 6 lanes along Metro Parkway. The project will also add an additional 11-foot northbound left turn lane onto Daniels Parkway for a total of 3 northbound turn lanes. The proposed CFI places the left turn lanes on Metro Parkway several hundred feet in advance of the Daniels Parkway intersection, which separates the conflicting through movements and left turning movements at the intersection. A closed-circuit television system, or CCTV, will be installed at the Daniels Parkway approaches to provide traffic monitoring and incident management capabilities. Intersection and corridor lighting will be added along Metro Parkway. LED light fixtures will be used to increase nighttime safety for drivers, bicyclists, and pedestrians. Pedestrian crossings will be modified to accommodate the new intersection configuration, and pedestrian signal displays, providing the countdown seconds, will be added to each pedestrian crossing showing the remaining crossing times. This will provide information to pedestrians about the time remaining to safely cross the street at the signalized intersection. The existing sidewalks within FDOT right-of-way will be replaced with new 8-foot concrete sidewalk, and we will also add a new 8-foot concrete sidewalk adjacent to the roadway in the southeast corner of Daniels Parkway in front of the Gulf Coast Medical Center. The Lee-Tran bus stop locations will remain the same. 7-foot buffered bicycle lanes will be provided adjacent to both the Metro Parkway and Daniels Parkway through lanes to allow for continuous flow for those riders wanting to use the roadway pavement. Bicyclists wishing to turn left onto Daniels Parkway will do so via the pedestrian crosswalks. Bicyclists wishing to make left turns at the intersection will need to utilize the crosswalks, not the vehicle left turn lanes. For example, if you are in the bicycle lane heading northbound, which is shown here in blue, and wish to turn westbound, which is in yellow, you will travel through the intersection to the curb ramp at the northeast corner. Once the walk phase is active, you will then proceed through the crosswalk until you can again get into the marked bicycle lane heading west. Existing drainage patterns will be maintained. Care has been taken to ensure that the areas contributing stormwater runoff to the FDOT pond at Metropolis Avenue and the treatment swales adjacent to the John Yarborough Linear Park will not prohibit these locations from continuing to function as designed. A new pond will be constructed in the northeast corner of Metro Parkway and Daniels Parkway. This pond is designed to accommodate additional stormwater runoff due to the increase in pavement area associated with the CFI. The existing span wire signal at the intersection will be replaced with mast arm signals. This includes 2 mast arm signals at the Metro Parkway left turn crossover location so that northbound and southbound left turning movements onto Daniels Parkway will have their own signal phasing. This provides more green time for the through travel lanes, which improves intersection capacity and reduces delay times. It also increases safety by eliminating the left turning conflicts for Metro Parkway. On Metro Parkway, the vehicle movements for the through and right turns will remain the same as a conventional signalized intersection. On Daniels Parkway, the left turns and through movements will occur at the intersection with Metro Parkway. The right turns from Daniels Parkway will be accommodated by channelized right turn lanes that will connect to Metro Parkway. Pedestrians at the channelized right turn lanes will be accommodated by crosswalks. Additional improvements will be required within the project limits. These improvements will include pavement widening, drainage modifications, installation of light poles, side street and driveway closures, median modifications, additional guide signs, and new pavement markings. Right-of-way varying in total width from 125 to 230 feet is needed to accommodate the CFI. In accordance with Rule 1497 of the Florida Administrative Code, the proposed improvements will include driveway and side street closures to control the movements or access of turning traffic. These changes are presented in compliance with Section 335.199 of the Florida Statutes, Transportation Projects Modifying Access to Adjacent Property. Access to and from Metro Parkway at the west leg of North Gulf Coast Lane will be eliminated due to the intersection widening. In addition, the Commerce Park Drive side street access from Metro Parkway at Shrimp Shack and Advance Auto Parts will be eliminated and converted into a cul-de-sac. Access for these businesses to and from Metro Parkway will no longer be allowed. These businesses will now be accessed via multiple side street options off Daniels Parkway. As a result of the new intersection configuration, there will also be 4 driveway closures within the project limits to eliminate conflict points and increase safety. The 7-Eleven driveway connection to Metro Parkway will be removed. The right-in connection from Daniels Parkway that also connects to Metropolis Avenue will remain. Joint-use driveway connections to Scan Design, Precision Detailing and Pressure Washing, Pam's Motor City, and Advance Auto Parts will be removed. The Commerce Park Drive access will remain for these businesses. FDOT evaluated environmental and socioeconomic factors relating to the proposed intersection improvements in accordance with the National Environmental Policy Act of 1969 as amended and other federal requirements. The evaluation considered the effects of the continuous flow intersection at Metro Parkway and Daniels Parkway on threatened and endangered species, wetlands and floodplains, water quality, stormwater management and permitting, noise, contamination, cultural and historic resources, land use, construction effects, and right-of-way requirements and relocations. Threatened and endangered species are allowed special protection under the Endangered Species Act of 1973 as amended and Florida statutes. FDOT assessed species within the project limits and through ongoing coordination with U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has determined that the proposed project may affect, but it is not likely to adversely affect, the existence of certain federally listed threatened or endangered species. These animal species include the eastern black rail, the wood stork, the eastern indigo snake, and the Florida bonneted bat. Coordination with U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service regarding the final status of these species is ongoing. FDOT District One will continue to work closely with environmental agencies in future phases to meet all environmental permitting requirements. FDOT evaluated wetlands within the project limits in accordance with Executive Order 11990, Protection of Wetlands. The proposed improvements will affect approximately 0.6 acres of other surface waters or roadside ditches. Although unavoidable, other surface water impacts will occur as a result of the intersection modification. The impacted surface waters are located within or adjacent to the existing roadway right-of-way and were previously disturbed by residential development, roadway construction, and maintenance activities. The department will mitigate other surface water impacts resulting from this project's construction to meet the requirements of Florida statutes and the United States Code. The project has also been evaluated for potential floodplain involvement in accordance with Executive Order 11988, Floodplain Management. While there will be minor impacts to 1.4 acre-feet of floodplains, there is no significant change in flood risk as a result of the proposed intersection modification, nor is there significant change in the potential for interruption or termination of emergency services or emergency evacuation routes due to flooding. Minimal impacts are expected to the 100-year floodplain. While traffic noise abatement was considered as part of the project, no feasible and reasonable measures were identified that can be implemented to abate traffic noise due to the intersection reconstruction. Results of the environmental contamination screening showed that there were 2 sites marked medium for potential contamination. For these sites, the FDOT project manager and the district contamination impact coordinator will coordinate on further actions during the design phase that must be taken to address contamination issues. Before construction, specially trained crews will address contamination in these areas as required. Locations of these sites are shown in the concept plans on display tonight. A cultural resource assessment survey was conducted in accordance with the National Historic Preservation Act of 1966 and Florida statutes. Archaeologists and historians identified no archaeological sites and 1 historic resource in the project area. 1 resource is individually eligible for listing in the National Register of Historic Places, the CSX Railroad/Seminole Gulf Railway. The archaeological consultant determined that there would be no adverse effect to the CSX Railroad/Seminole Gulf Railway, and no significant historic properties identified would be adversely affected by the proposed improvements. This project is not expected to change future land use patterns on Metro Parkway or Daniels Parkway, nor result in adverse impacts to water quality and air quality. One of the unavoidable consequences on a project such as this is the necessary relocation of families or businesses. On this project, we anticipate the relocation of 2 businesses. All of the areas shown in green on this image are areas of proposed right-of-way needs for the CFI at the Metro Parkway and Daniels Parkway intersection. If you have questions about the proposed right-of-way, please visit FDOT representatives with us this evening at the right-of-way table. All right-of-way acquisition will be conducted in accordance with Florida Statute 339.09 and the Federal Uniform Relocation Assistance and Real Property Acquisition Policies Act of 1970, commonly known as the Uniform Act. If you are required to make any type of move as a result of a Department of Transportation project, you can expect to be treated in a fair and helpful manner and in compliance with the Uniform Relocation Assistance Act. If a move is required, you will be contacted by an appraiser who will inspect your property. We encourage you to be present during the inspection and provide information about the value of your property. You may also be eligible for relocation advisory services and payment benefits. If you are being moved and you are unsatisfied with the department's determination of your eligibility for payment or the amount of that payment, you may appeal that determination. You will promptly be furnished the necessary forms and notified of the procedures to be followed in making that appeal. A special word of caution. If you move before you receive notification of the relocation benefits that you might be entitled to, your benefits may be jeopardized. The relocation specialists who are supervising this program are here tonight. They will be happy to answer your questions and will also furnish you with copies of the relocation assistance brochures. An evaluation matrix showing a detailed comparison of the 1999 PD&E recommended concept and the currently proposed design is in the project handout and is also on display here this evening. The matrix shows potential effects to the social, cultural, natural, and physical environments and identifies preliminary costs. The costs from the original PD&E estimate have been escalated to present-day value for comparison purposes. The estimated cost for the continuous flow intersection at Metro Parkway and Daniels Parkway includes $3 million for final design and $23 million for right-of-way acquisition for roadway and stormwater management areas. The estimated construction cost for the project is $27 million. The cost for construction, engineering, and inspection is estimated at $3.7 million. The department's preliminary estimate of the total project cost is $56.7 million. At this time, the FDOT's adopted 5-year work program includes funding for right-of-way acquisition for roadway and stormwater management areas in fiscal year 2025 and construction in fiscal year 2026. We encourage you to review the project information tonight, complete the comment form and drop it in one of the boxes provided, or you can fill out a speaker request card to participate in the public testimony. Online, you can submit comments via the GoToWebinar question box or submit comments through the project website. You may also mail or email your comments to the FDOT Project Manager, Christopher Spees. Comments must be submitted by August 10 of 2023 to be included as part of the public record. If you would like to review these materials at the District 1 Southwest Area Office, please make an appointment by contacting FDOT's Project Manager, Christopher Spees, using the contact information included in your handout. You may also visit the project webpage at www.swflroads.com/project/431-334-2 for the latest project information, schedule, and upcoming events. This PD&E study has been conducted and completed according to the requirements of the National Environmental Policy Act and other related federal and state laws, rules, and regulations, which will qualify future phases of this project for federal funding, and this hearing was advertised consistent with those requirements. Please see the statute display board for all other applicable requirements. This hearing is also conducted in accordance with the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990 and with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and related statutes. Anyone who feels he or she has been discriminated against with regard to race, color, national origin, age, sex, religion, disability, or family status may complete one of the forms located at the sign-in table and mail the completed form to the address listed on the display board. And finally, an FDOT safety moment. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Always remember to choose a designated driver or schedule a rideshare, ride-hail, or taxi service when you've been drinking. FDOT thanks you for making safety a continued priority. And thank you for your interest and participation in the State Road 739 Metro Parkway at Daniels Parkway Project Development and Environment Reevaluation Public Hearing and for taking the time to join us this evening.